What if you scribbled an idea on a napkin and it became a limitless scale tech company poised for exit? What if you had a vision of eliminating an inefficiency in your community, industry, or the world, and you had a chance to co-found a company and bring this product or service to the market? What if we could positively impact every social issue with tech? 10x Tech Tank is the #1 daily show for everything tech entrepreneurship. And whether you are technical or not, you will learn, be inspired, and witness transformation in the making. People will share tech ideas on napkins. People will showcase minimum viable tech products. People will explain their cash-flowing tech companies looking for acceleration. And if the person is right, and their idea is right, and the market is right, and the business model is right, then there's a great chance you will witness some serious magic. We are on a mission to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. And we invite you to make history with us. Together, we achieve more.
Welcome to 10x Tech Tank. Jared Yellin here, co-founder of 10x Incubator, and I'm here with the one and only Big E right here, Eric Nowoslawski, the VP of Growth of 10x Incubator. Before we kick off the episode for this evening, look at this guy's hair. I mean, he's keeping it tight in the chat. What do you think of this hair? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 is like, that's my dream, and 1 is, that's not my style. In this chat, let us know, between 1 and 10, is that the dream do, or 1 is that just not your style? Listen up, we're so honored to have you this evening. 10x Tech Tank, for us, it just represents everything that we stand for. We're giving people from around the world the opportunity to pitch their tech ideas that they've written on a piece of paper just like this, or maybe they have a minimum viable tech product they put some money into, or maybe even a cash flowing tech company. And this idea to them is a vision. It's a vision of impact. It's a vision of abundance. It's a vision of transformation. And we're here with the hope and desire that we're gonna say yes. We want to continue the due diligence process with each of these entrepreneurs. But as someone in our audience, it's also up to you. So after each pitch, we're going to invite you to share your thoughts. Would you use this solution? And if we get enough yeses, it might just influence us to continue the due diligence process. So let's kick it off, Biggie. You ready?
Absolutely.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do this. We got Alex up. Alex, where are you calling in from tonight?
Well, I'm in Lisbon, Portugal.
Awesome.
Great. And I'm the founder and CEO of Biodocument. So Biodocument is a healthcare tech company. We aim to digitize all the medical records, and not just that, but the main goal here is to connect all the healthcare institutions between them, because as you know, if you travel from one state or another, in this case in the United States or especially abroad, if something happens to a patient, the doctors don't have their medical papers. So in this case, it happens that we occur the medical error. So, and then happens that we do also repeated exams, which also cost time losing and so on. So what we're doing here is also that we, besides the connecting all the healthcare institutions, we also give the patients the possibility to be themselves the real owners of their medical records. So right now we're also developing the MVP. We're almost done with it, the final stage. We're about to go online by the end of November. And that's about it, what we're doing. So we're trying to revolutionize the healthcare industry as we know it. And the main goal here is also that when a patient goes to a hospital or has a visit to a doctor, the doctor is all supposed to know already everything that that patient has, all the pathologies, all the allergies, the medicine that he's taking, even if it's the first time that he meets that patient.
Awesome.
So in our system, they already have everything without the patient bringing him anything.
Good for you. What motivated this idea? Where did this come from, Alex?
I've been living in Italy in the last 6 years, so I've met a lot of people there that are doctors and work with the national healthcare system there in Italy. And I've seen this problem there. And after digging up more for more information, And I came across that, unfortunately, this problem, it happens in each country, including in the United States, Australia, China. Wherever you go, it's the same problem. And all the doctors are complaining about this kind of problem, and the patients as well.
So how do you roll this
I've
out?
been working on this for 6 years already on this project.
Well, actually, I have a question before that. So are you integrating with the current electronic health record systems in these countries, or are you replacing them?
We want to introduce our software to the hospitals, and to show them that with our software, all the healthcare institutions are connected between them, and they can provide all the informations between colleagues, between them.
Yeah, and so then between Portugal and Italy, are they both single-payer healthcare systems?
Yeah, each one is individual.
Okay, so when you roll this out,
they are connected.
Yeah, so when you roll this out, you're going to have to get their government body to be purchasing this, correct?
That's in the second stage. We aim to, as we're a private company, we intend to go on the private market and sign contracts with the private hospitals, clinics, and so on. And once we have a slice of that market, then we intend to sign with the governments to make it for the public hospitals and then we connect it with other countries as well.
Yep, absolutely. And so when you are going into the private market, you, like I asked, you're not quite replacing the electronic health record, but you're multiplying what's happening and you're connecting them all together, correct?
Exactly, yes.
How many electronic health records are there that you need to integrate with? The main ones that you need to be thinking about?
Not sure how to answer to this question. What we're doing is creating a new whole system. And we have two infrastructures. One is for my company where we organize all the customers, and in our case, the customers are the healthcare, the hospitals, the clinics, so on. And then we have the infrastructure for the hospitals, where the hospitals manage all their doctors and all the medical personnel. And it's the doctors who upload the medical records after visiting their patients as well, because those medical records need to be validated by a certified person.
Got it. And how do you see yourself rolling this out? Like, what's the process of getting people to use the platform, pay for the platform? What's that strategy for you?
We have contracts that they're going to sign. We already have customers interested. Everyone we pitched this idea, this project, all the hospitals, everyone was interested in it. They showed their 100% feedback, positive feedback and everything, because they know that with this software, having all the information about their patients, they can save lives, more efficiency. So we're going to do contracts with them, and that have a fixed price. And then with those contracts, they're going to have to buy the vouchers, and the vouchers are supposed to from the hospitals. As we can't know the patients and how many patients they have a hospital. They need to tell us how many patients and how many vouchers they need. And with these vouchers, they're going to invite their patients to join this platform.
Got it. Okay, and what's the economic model? So how does the financial model work?
At the moment, we have no revenue because we aren't. The software isn't ready yet. We're still currently developing it.
What will it be in the future, Alex? Like when you roll it out, what is going to be the financial model?
Right now, by the end of this year, we are already foreseeing like 5 or 10, between 5 and 10 contracts already.
And how much is a contract worth? What's the cost of the contract?
The contract is worth 5,000 euros per year.
Great.
And then we have the vouchers. Each voucher costs 25 euros per voucher.
Got it. Cool.
And in this, when we negotiate with the hospital needs to tell us how much space they need and for how many patients. So we know the kind of servers and the space we need to give them.
Got it. Question for you. So what is your specific need now? You said you're almost at an MVP, so congratulations. That's huge. What is your need? Do you need a bigger dev team so that you can accelerate on the innovation side? Are you looking for an investment? Are you looking for
I'm looking for
promotional force?
investment and for market size, for customers.
Got it.
All right, great.
Awesome. Alex, you did a great job, man. We appreciate you for being in the tank with
you.
us. Listen, so Eric, what are your thoughts on a technology that's going to integrate into electronic health records platform?
Well, I think, as I've told you, I have a real soft spot for healthcare tech. I think that anything that can be done to improve the healthcare system is something that we need to be taking a look at. My biggest question is there's so many electronic healthcare record companies that need to get integrated into. I might start saying EHR because that's so long. But there's so many EHR companies that need to get integrated into. And my worry is how many of them are there? Because he's talking about going across multiple countries. Yes, he's talking about the European Union, but then as soon as you get back into Eastern Europe, now you're talking about totally different things. And to acquire a large enough market share to then turn over to their single payer healthcare systems and say, this is working, you should be doing it too. It's a little bit of a risk because what if their single payer system says, nope, we don't want it. However, I want to dig a little bit deeper into that idea because like I said, with healthcare, I'm huge on anything that can help in that way. And so I would just want to learn even more about it because if he has something that can truly organize it, and what I really heard was the fact that you could get your health records if you're in Portugal, you could get them in the States if you come.
Cool.
That was really cool. Yeah. And so I just want to go a little bit deeper because in 5 minutes we can't go through all that stuff.
Yeah, Alex, I agree. I think going through the due diligence process will be really fascinating. You did a great job. Congratulate you again just on getting to a point of almost having an MVP. But listen, it's not just up to us. As you're watching live, we encourage you to chat. Other than voting for this dude's hair, we want to know, is this a platform that you believe should be part of what we're doing here at 10X Incubator, where we're building, scaling, and selling 10,000 tech companies in the next 10 years. Alex, my friend, you did an awesome job. I hope you enjoy your time in Portugal. So before we get to our next pitch, we have some really cool stuff going on inside of the incubator. We have companies across all different, from business technology to social media platforms to AR, VR, AI technology. And one of the platforms that's taking the world by storm right now is Blueprinted. Mike Searock is just dominating in the space of helping people that have achieved success blueprint their success so that other people can follow the exact tasks and the exact steps they took to get to where they are. We have a very unique opportunity with Blueprinted right now where you can become one of the first 100 architects, which means it's like the first 100 people on Audible or the first 100 people on Clubhouse. We never forget the first 100, the founding architects that have their success blueprinted for other people to then follow. It's an economic model for you. It's an impact model for you. And we invite you to take a look at this commercial right here and then join us, blueprinted.com/VIP. Watch the commercial. We'll be back with you shortly.
Blueprinted is the place where you can go in and put those steps in there and then be able to impact the world and monetize on that by having a marketplace in the community that we're developing for you in Blueprinted.
So we've created the app for any expert to be able to come in and put their steps, their exact steps to success in our app and put it on a marketplace where people can go and buy their steps to any success.
And we're back. Are you gonna be one of our architects? I hope so, man. We're dominating in the space of Blueprinted. We have some of the coolest architects across all different industries, from parenting to health to real estate to financial services. We have Grant Cardone blueprinting his success. I wanna make sure you're in the first 100. Blueprinted.com/VIP. Make sure you take action today. It's gonna fill up quickly. All right, we're up with our next pitch. So we have Brad here. Brad, where are you tuning in from this evening?
Hi, my name is Brad Harold. I'm coming in here from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Awesome. Welcome. So you got 5 minutes. Want to hear what is your big tech idea? We can't wait. Go for it, my friend.
Excellent. Let me share my screen. So yeah, my name is Brad Harold. I'm the technical co-founder of SafeWave Technology. If you don't mind, I'd like to start with a representation of our product. So if you could go ahead and close your eyes and just envision you're going to bed at night, you lay down, and all of a sudden you're awoken by this sharp alarm. It's a fire alarm. Your house is on fire. What's the first thing you do? You go, you get your loved ones, you go to a safe place, make sure everything's okay. Now I just want you to imagine you're deaf or you're hard of hearing. You're not able to hear that. What do? Unfortunately, this is the exact Unfortunately, this is exactly what's happening to 466 million individuals worldwide, 48 million in the US, with a projected growth of 6.5% year over end. So currently the problem is there's no solution for those who are deaf or hard of hearing for safety, for fire alarms, for home break-ins within your home or out in the public. The current solutions are in the form of either a flashing light or a sound, which if you can imagine you're deaf and hard of hearing, that's going to be pretty tough to visualize or to alert you. So currently there's no available solution to this problem within the marketplace. And the functionality only consists, like I said, of flashing lights and of sounds. The solutions out there right now, if at all any you would call a solution, is in the form of a bed shaker. That's in the alarm clock. You put it in underneath your pillow. Not very mobile. And if you're out, say, traveling in a hotel, obviously it's not very feasible to bring that with you. So our solution is in the form of a wristband. This wristband is adaptable to all watch faces as well as home security systems such as Nest, SimpliSafe, ADT, all the main home security systems available in the market today. So our patent pending wristband places motors on the bottom side of your wrist adjacent to large nerves such as the median and ulnar nerves, as you can see in the figure, where the current vibration that you might find on a wristwatch is put on the top of your wrist. You might say, so what's the difference? Just spin your watch around, put on the bottom side of your wrist. So our motors have the ability to be actuated randomly, also at higher intensities than that is on your wrist. And it also allows random, like I said, each notification is random, so the user isn't complacent. It's mobile and it's completely adaptable to all mainstream markets. So here's our product. As you can see, it's that representative of Apple Watch. It's unique that we currently don't have anyone in the market looking to place motors in the way that we do and also be adaptable to mainstream home system markets such as Nest, Ring, or SimpliSafe. So we have at this point tested our product. It was successful. We placed on an individual whom was deaf or hard of hearing. He was in his home in a normal setting. We had an observer, being his father, videotape him, and it instantly alerted him as I actuated the device from my home. So our business model is to test and develop this through clinical partnerships. We're currently working with local hospitals to produce these trials with deaf and hard of hearing through sleep studies. We're working on feedback from the deaf and hard of hearing community, as well as continual improvements on how we can make this more adaptable. One of those feedbacks that we got was, I don't want to wear an Apple Watch to sleep. So like I said, it's adaptable to all watch faces. We also have an adapter piece to where it's just the band as you're sleeping. Our go-to-market strategy is to utilize the healthcare infrastructure that's already in place, right? So there's audiologists everywhere, looking to partner with them, as well as the logistics that come with home health products. The next, we look to go direct to consumer and then eventually direct to business, such as warehousing and utilizing this as a safety feature that's needed for deaf or hard of hearing communities. You always have that fire alarm drill. What if you can't hear the fire alarm? You have to rely on somebody. Well, if you're in a secluded part of the factory, this could be a great solution. The logistics of our product, we at SafeWave feel that to make this, the most efficient and make us become the leader.
You got
versus
60
all
seconds, Brad.
competitors.
60 seconds.
The concern is, okay, yeah. So we're going to be using third-party distributors, which allows us to scale largely, as well as third-party logistics that utilize warehouses throughout the United States and as we go worldwide. So that's our product. Like I said, SafeWave technology. You can visit us at SafeWave Tech. So
awesome, man. Great job. So where did this come from?
Thanks.
Like where did this all come from? Why you? I'd love to hear.
Yeah, definitely. So like I said, I'm the technical co-founder. There's two other founders. This originally started when the co-founder Trayvon Brook was just sleeping in his home and the fire alarm went off. And being the serial entrepreneur ahead, his brain just started going, what happens if I can't hear this? What if I wasn't alerted? Our test subject said, we're going to rely on a dog. So that's really the only product that's out there right now is a pet to alert you. And my background is in mechanical engineering. They brought me on to develop the product and bring it to where it is today.
Awesome. Love it, man. So currently the product is out in the market. I know you said you had one person that tested it. Where are you at in the process of going to market with the product?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently we have a prototype that we are finishing to develop. I'm working with manufacturers to get that to market. We have some final testing that we're looking to do and some touch up of the app. So I guess another way to, so we have the SafeWave app. The SafeWave app is always looking at Ring or Simply Safe or ADT. Our app works as a repeater and then pushes a notification out to the band, which is a standalone band. You don't need a smartwatch. It can just be worn as a band as itself.
Got it. Cool. What's the price point?
So currently we're looking to sell at $79 when it costs $29 to produce, market, all in.
Nice. Is there a software subscription that can be purchased along with it?
So we had dabbled with the subscription market. We're not closed off to it, but right now that's not being implemented.
Okay, interesting. So, and then when you distribute this product, are you going to go direct to consumer or through retailers?
Yeah, so first we're looking to go direct to customer through the healthcare means of audiologists and trusted, establishments that we work through partnerships, and then eventually we'll go direct to business.
Yeah, absolutely. What an interesting idea.
Yeah, really
right?
interesting. So what are your needs now? So are you looking for investment? Looking for promotion? Do you need a bigger team to accelerate on the innovation side? And why when you answer that question?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, we're finishing up the testing and production of the band. Right now we're looking for investment for that inventory and to go to market quickly.
Cool. And what's the profile of the team? Other than obviously yourself, two other co-founders, what else does the team look like?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm a veteran mechanical engineer. My background's in development of products. Our co-founder is a serial entrepreneur, has developed several mobile applications, and the other co-founder is background in manufacturing.
Cool. How'd you find out about us?
Big fan of Grant Cardone. Saw the video on YouTube one day and just applied.
Love it. So what would be like the greatest accelerator for you right now? Like, is there a relationship of influence or a person of influence that if they were to stand behind this wonderful company and talk about it, it would just be like take you from 0 to 60 quickly? Who is that?
Yeah,
person?
certainly. So right now there are influencers in the deaf and hard of hearing market. I think it'd be key to get them on board. As myself, I am hearing impaired from being in the military, but I don't really consider myself as being a part of the deaf and hard of hearing community. It's pretty inclusive, and we definitely would like the backers and support of them to know that we're not just here to be profit, but we're here to bring a solution to the marketplace and safety.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your service. So let's pretend I'm one of those influencers. Sell me on why I should support the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would bring them through the same realization I did. So one of the things, actually, we've already had this experience through the pitch competition at TCU. One of the entrepreneurs there is an influencer in the deaf hard of hearing community. We pitched him and asked, what's a solution? What's something that you would do? And his exact response was, well, we die. And unfortunately, that is the reality for a large portion of the world. And I think just, the safety and bringing that availability into the marketplace is more than enough to get the backing of an influencer, as well as our inclusivity. We plan when we go to the next generation to do a kind of a rebate program where if you send in your old band, we'll refurbish that and donate it out into the marketplace and show our support.
That's awesome. How big is the market?
So currently the marketplace is 466 million individuals worldwide, 48 million in the US with a growth year over year of 6.5%. Worldwide by 2050, it's projected to be 900 million.
Okay, and why no like ongoing subscription fee? Like what was the reason you chose not to at this point?
So, like I said, it's hard to get into the deaf and hard of hearing community. We don't want that to come as standoffish of, you have to pay for a subscription fee. We're definitely open to the discussing that further. But right now, and then another factor in the deaf and hard of hearing community, unfortunately, a lot of those individuals, the employment rate is way up. So we don't want that to be a deterrent to not buy our product.
Awesome, cool. So have you spoken to any one of the go-to-market strategies? I believe you said you were going to go through practitioners. Have you had conversations with practitioners? What kind of feedback did they share? And what motivates them to distribute the product? Are they getting paid a fee? Is it just because they want to help? Like what was their motivator to get behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're actually going through an accelerator program called SoCab, which is based out of the Cincinnati, Ohio area. That's partnered with Mercy Health, St. Elizabeth, which are large healthcare providers around here. Feedback from them has been, this is a great product. We'd like to get it out to the individual. Our market would be, obviously give it them at a discounted rate. They would then, let their users know that this is an available product. It could be a viable solution for preventative care in the future. So it'd be provided at a discounted rate and sold through their company and their different logistics.
Awesome. And what's your vision for exit? Yeah. What's the vision for the exit of the company? Like, have you guys had those conversations, and what does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So we look to follow the same pattern as Ring. We want to develop it within the deaf and hard of hearing community in the U.S. Year 2, we look to venture out into different countries and go worldwide eventually. And another aspect of this is to think of the special needs community. After we've implemented the deaf and hard of hearing community, just the reach that we can have in different markets, such as the special needs community in the version of a caretaker.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
thing.
Our
exit strategy, would obviously be to be acquired by a larger company such as Ring or Simply Safe or some other marketplace.
Awesome. So what do you think of Biggie? Like this guy here, I mean, this is an awesome entrepreneur. I love it. They have a team with a track record, serial entrepreneur. I love how the idea came to them, like sleeping at night and all of a sudden an alarm goes off and they don't think about themselves. They think about what about someone that can't even hear this and the danger and like even down to how to get an influencer to support this. Obviously the influencer is going to have this condition and I'm sure this is
something on their mind. Yeah. What I love about this idea is that the problem is so clearly identified and it's absolutely a true problem. And then what we look for is we want to see that the solution is 10x better than the status quo. And what Brad just showed us is that is 10x better than the status quo, probably 100x better than the status quo, just relying on your dog to, maybe like push you to wake you up, but then what if you don't have a dog and you're allergic to pets? And then just for $79, you have that peace of mind, and you can't put a price on a peace of mind like that.
Yeah.
So I really like that idea. And people in the chat, let us know what you think about the idea as well. Not all of us are deaf or hard of hearing, and we're not in that community, but we know people who are. And, let's tag those people who might be in it and see what they think about it. Because this is, one of those ideas where, sometimes people identify problems and the solution is 10x better, but it's, letting them reach 10x more customers or it's saving them 10x on their expenses. But this is like saving people's lives. And that's what I love so much about the idea.
Yeah, and patent pending too, which is huge. Like this product has the potential to become a utility in this space of deaf and hard of hearing. So Brad and team, congratulations on what you've done up to this point. We'll definitely be in touch. For those that are watching, like Eric said, like in the chatter, maybe this doesn't impact you, but it might impact someone you know. Tag them so they can at least watch the replay of this pitch because this might just be the product that saves their life. Now, one of the most common things that we're hearing from people is, what if I don't have a tech idea? What if I don't have a tech idea, but I want to help co-author the story?
Yeah.
I want to help co-author the story to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. Well, we have an opportunity for people who are accredited and want to invest in the companies that are inside of the 10X Incubator portfolio. It's called 10X Tech Angels. It's a really unique opportunity because it's a club of accredited people that are looking at all of the deals that we've co-founded with Grant Cardone, myself, with you and our entire team, and that gives you a chance to invest as little as $10,000 into any individual deal. Plus, we educate you a ton. I mean, we're talking about why we said yes to certain companies to bring them into the portfolio. We're answering questions. Our co-founders are in there answering questions. And then there's the community a community of like-minded people who are driven to co-author the story with us. Please take a look at this commercial, and if you're inclined, become a 10X Tech Angel with us.
What if you knew about Instagram or Slack or Clubhouse when the company was raising a friends and family round at $10,000 per person? What if you were able to see all the tech companies that Grant Cardone and Jared Yellin have co-founded in one place and invest in any that excite you? What if you were able to expand your portfolio into early stage tech companies with extraordinary founders and teams? 10X Tech Angels is the most unique investment club that you will ever find, because not only will you see some of the most innovative tech companies at the lowest valuations ever, but you will also be educated on how to pick tech winners, meet other members of our community, and experience the excitement associated with taking an early idea to exit. Become one of the founding members of 10X Tech Angels for an exclusive offer with some extraordinary bonuses. To learn more, visit 10xtechangels.com.
And we're back. So, are you going to become a 10X Tech Angel with us? I really hope so. We have such wonderful accredited people that we're working with, and it's so cool because when you invest in early stage tech, it's not like investing in the stock market where you have no access to founders or anyone for that matter. Like, you're going to know the founders that you've invested in. Like, you're going to invest in the seed round. You're part of the friends and family in many ways. So if that excites you, if that motivates you, if you've wanted to get into tech for years, you just couldn't find deals, well, guess what? You found your home. 10xtechangels.com. We invite you to take a look, and we invite you to join us. All right, we're up for another pitch, man. You ready, Biggie?
Yeah,
you ready?
absolutely.
Let's do this, bro. Let's do this.
Yeah,
all right,
this is
who's
my
up with
favorite
us here?
part.
We got Thomas. Thomas, where are you calling in from tonight?
From Vancouver, Canada.
Awesome, Thomas.
great.
Thank you so much for being here, man. So you got 5 minutes. Please share your big idea. Go for it.
Awesome. Bear with me 1 second here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Awesome, I'll start it off. Hi everyone, my name is Thomas Park. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Retium. I've been a realtor for the past 17 years and I've sold over $500 million worth of residential real estate. Everyone loves to talk about real estate. I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people over my career, and what I've learned is owning real estate is aspirational. Everybody wants to own it, but not everybody can afford it. So what is the problem? Buying a home or an investment property is extremely difficult. It's expensive. You have to have a large down payment. You need to have good credit and make a decent income. For these reasons, this has excluded majority of the world's population from buying and investing in real estate. Real estate is the largest asset class in the world, totaling $280 trillion. And here's the secret. There's $3 trillion of sleeping capital coming from global millennials, seniors, and developing countries that's never been able to buy or invest in real estate until now. Retium is a blockchain real estate marketplace where everyone can be a real estate investor starting with $100. Investors will be able to start their real estate journey and share the rental income and appreciation through fractional ownership. In 5 easy steps, you can go from 1, creating your account, 2, loading your wallet, 3, view and buy properties, 4, collect your dividends and watch your properties appreciate, and 5, sell anytime. Here are the property types that we'll be listing. Investors will be able to select the property type, location, view all the legal documents, see the expected returns, and learn everything they need to know to make an informed decision. All deals are rigorously vetted through our 6-step process. We only list great projects on the Retium platform. We're partnered with IBM and we're using Hyperledger Fabric, which is a private permission blockchain, where every actor is known to ensure every investment is compliant with all security regulations in Canada and the United States. Each share purchase ensures compliance, ownership, as well record keeping of investors' KYC and AML, when the funds were paid, when the subscription documents were signed, and when the shares were sold in the secondary market. The value of the shares on the Retium platform is the value of the real estate asset. We proudly built an innovative secondary exchange allowing every investor liquidity on our platform. With liquidity being the biggest issue in real estate and the private equity markets, this is what makes Retium stand out against our competition. Our revenue model is very simple. It's free for anyone to invest into a property. Property owners pay Retium a 5% fee to list their deals in our marketplace. We also have a white label solution where we charge setup fees, monthly fees, and transaction fees. We have over 10,000 registered investors, and we have over 1 million realtor partnership leads. We're listing $45 million worth of assets in the next 12 months, which translates to $450,000 in revenue for Retium. The competitive landscape is changing rapidly as the power of the retail investors is more prominent now more than ever. NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and the stock market are highly volatile. Most of our competitors are only focusing on the accredited investors with high minimum investment fees. Retium is positioned where we can accept these new global investors into prime US and Canadian properties to start. Our go-to-market strategy is working with real estate educational companies, as well as realtors, mortgage brokers, and financial planners who will use our referral engine to help Retium onboard millions of their clients in exchange for fees. Our digital marketing is to focus on financial literacy and alternative investing on all social media platforms. For all your parents out there, you're going to love this. Retium has created a child youth version of our app that will nurture the future generation of real estate moguls, where anyone can gift money into the app. The child and youth can pick and choose the properties that they're interested in buying. Parents would still have to authorize the purchase. We will teach financial literacy and show how the money is working for them. Hopefully by the time they become an adult, they can sell their holdings and have enough down payment to buy their own property. My two co-founders, Michael Mall, he's our CTO. He has 9 years experience in leading tech teams. Laura Forte is my COO, and she has 12 years experience in operations. Our advisors come from Blackstone, TikTok, private equity, real estate syndicators, go-to-market specialists, and security blockchain lawyers. We're lucky to have them on our team. We're currently raising a $1.5 million seed round at an $8.5 million pre-money valuation. We have 400,000 left in this round. Who would like to join our mission to democratize real estate investing? We're going to open up trillions of dollars that's never been able to enter the market and still service the incumbents. Thank you for your time, and I'm here for your questions.
Freaking Thomas is coming to play, bro. Oh man,
that was a great pitch. That was like, actually, Tiffany, what we got to do is take Thomas's and we got to get that packaged, because that was a great pitch.
We have to
Thomas.
blueprint that. It's more than a great pitch. It's a great idea. So the other day I was talking with Grant, and I was just walking by his office, and he's like, "I need you to do me a favor." And I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "I need you to have my soulmate connect with my new love." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "My soulmate is real estate, my new love is tech. Like, find a way to bring these together." And Thomas, man, you just dropped a bomb on us. So this is a world that Eric is rather passionate about. So I'll let you kick off the
absolutely.
question.
So on this blockchain, are you setting up an NFT on the blockchain, or are people just trading the like a coin back and forth?
So basically, we are not attached to any cryptocurrency. We're using the underlying technology to crypto, which is blockchain. And so to be secured with the security regulations, to be compliant, we cannot have the volatility of the crypto market. So we're only using the technology of blockchain to ensure that every ownership of shares is the ownership of the value of the asset. So if all three of us bought property together, we'd have to know each other, trust each other. But how do you get 1,000 people to own the same asset? And blockchain is what secures what we're doing, so that now you have 1,000 shares, Jared has 10,000 shares, Grant has 1 million. That is actually baked in with your KYC, which is know your customer, your AML for anti-money laundering, when you sign your subscription documents, when you made your payment and how you made your payment, so that we are in line with all security regulations in Canada and the United States. So that's how we're able to democratize real estate investing, is that we've built a very, very well-versed compliance engine to ensure that every trade or every investment is compliant with them.
Amazing. And so did you have to custom write that smart contract, or did IBM help you with it?
No. So we had to customize it.
Oof. You know, I know how difficult the smart contract could be. It's like you have to bring on like a world-class lawyer and a world-class coder, and then like somehow bring them together. So that's amazing. So just to be clear, it's a stable coin. It's not an NFT.
So it's not even a coin, actually. Oh. It's not even NFT either. We're just using blockchain to record keep the ownership of the shares, as well as the cap table, as well as all the documents, so that if what happens is with cryptocurrency is that they don't know where the money came from. It could come from funny money and they can invest it.
Yeah.
Security regulations want to know for anti-money laundering and KYC. So every actor is known on our platform, so that if the regulator came in, they can say, ask for trade 452, 9,086, 12,048, and we can bring up all their documentation for those investors within seconds, and then see if it's been sold multiple times and get all the data. And that data is very important for security regulations, just because they want to protect the retail investors. So if you're taking investments from non-accredited investors, they want to ensure where that money came from, how they made it, when they signed their documents. And what we've done is that we've created that within our blockchain ecosystem. And that's why we're using a private permission blockchain, and we're not using any blockchain that's attached to a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, after I saw Hyperledger, I was thinking, oh, it's a ledger. It's not just a coin. Sorry about that. But so
No problem.
when you own the asset, how do you legally own the asset and then break up the fractional ownership? Are you holding that asset in an LLC and then breaking it up that way, or how does it happen?
So yeah, so that's exactly how it is. So it's usually a GP-LP structure. We actually have funds more so. We can fractionalize anything. We can fractionalize luxury cars, artwork, diamonds, cars, startups, people wanting to raise capital for investors, startup companies. So for us, we're not, the platform's agnostic. It can actually work for any asset class. However, we're hyper-focused to real estate. It's the largest asset class in the world. It's the most illiquid. And what happens is that the ownership is the share structures of the asset. So if I put in $100, I know that I have 100 shares within this company. This company now, the assets go up by 10%. Your share values go up by 10%. So you're going to have a nice steady growth rather than, the NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Today, it could be, Ethereum could be $5,000. Tomorrow it could be zero. So we wanted to make sure that the shares and the value of those shares are pegged to the asset. And that asset goes up and it goes down, but primarily goes up.
Yes, so that was my next question. So how do you peg that it's going up? Zillow has Zestimate, and then there's appraisers and things like that as well. How do you know that it's going up? Because you talked about liquidity, and I think that's the greatest challenge to marketplaces like this. So then how do you prove to them, besides just the supply and the demand of the blockchain, how do you prove that there's a appreciation?
So there's a combination of a lot of things, but realistically, it is independent third-party appraisals. And we'll do that every year. So, again, liquidity is being the biggest issue. Now, if somebody wanted to sell their shares within, any asset, it's actually a very closed group and it's very hard to find those investors. So there's really no liquidity. So what we did is we created the secondary exchange so that if I bought 100 shares within this asset, that buying multifamily properties in Texas, for example, and now I wanted that liquidity, the appraisal came in, my share values went up by 10%. I can actually post up and say, I want to sell my shares within here, but the only people that would be allowed to see that offering would be the people that are compliantly allowed to buy. So a retail investor cannot sell to another retail investor. They can only sell to accredited. And we've got all those rule sets built into our compliance engine to ensure, again, every trade is compliant, as well as when the shares are resold, are they compliant with the security regulations?
So you have to be accredited to be on the platform, which is totally fine.
No, not at all.
You don't have to be. It can be for retail investors too.
Yeah, so selling your shares as a retail investor cannot sell to another retail investor in North America. They can only sell to accredited. However, if they're coming from another country that has no accreditation status, let's say a lot of countries in South America, let's say Thailand or the Philippines or Korea, what happens is that we can facilitate that trade where a retail investor from those markets can actually buy another retail investor's shares in North America. But if you're an American citizen or Canadian and you want to actually sell your shares to another American or Canadian and you're a retail investor, you can only sell it to accredited. But if somebody came in from Mexico, they have no accreditation status, a retail investor can actually buy the shares from a retail investor in North America.
Very interesting. What kind of feedback have you gotten so far with the current people on the platform? What kind of feedback have you gotten thus far?
Oh, amazing! We've already transacted $12.5 million worth of investments since February of this year. So it's going really, really well. We're just got accepted into an accelerator in the US because we are a Canadian company. We do see ourselves in the United States within the next 3 to 5 months. And so that's our market. We already have assets that want to list onto our platform in the US. So that's our target, is to hit that market as quickly as possible.
And then what's your revenue model? Of that 12.5 million, how are you putting your business model together on top of that?
So we're a two-sided marketplace. So we have people that want to list their deals in our marketplace. Are you guys familiar with broker dealers?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Canada, they're called exempt market dealers. They actually are the compliance side of the industry. We have one client that is listing $45 million worth of assets within the next 12 months. And so those are all different types of properties, from multifamily properties to short-term rental fund to, strip malls. And so they're coming to us because their industry is archaic. They're doing everything paper-based. They're using 6 siloed programs. And so they don't know how to digitize their companies. And so during COVID was actually quite interesting because that we didn't expect that to be part of our business, the white label side. And so we have issuers and asset owners and exempt market dealers and broker dealers approaching us because they want to totally digitally transform their business. And our platform does that for them. So we have 5 clients already lined up, and we have, so that's the SaaS side. And then we have the individual asset owners that want to list their deals into our marketplace. We charge them to raise capital in the current markets. The average is about 6 to 10%. We charge 5% to list your deals into our marketplace. So the individual investor pays nothing, but the asset owner that wants to list their deals will pay us a fee to list their deals in our marketplace. And they're all vetted. So we want to ensure that we bring great assets so that they get good returns for the investors. So we get the income coming in from the marketplace side and the SaaS side.
Awesome. Listen, you are the absolute real. I don't know about you. I'm a hell's yes to continue this conversation. I mean, the team that you've established, the board of directors, the idea, the precision around it, your response to every question. For everyone that's watching here, like what Thomas did is, there's no way this was your first time pitching. So you've exercised this muscle. So you're able to tap into that muscle. And throughout the entire 5 minutes, you stayed in your gut. Most people, when they're presenting, they go straight to their head and they're overthinking and they're analyzing, and there's no way that they can truly connect with an audience when they're stuck in their head. You're in your gut, man. I want to acknowledge that. You are combining the original soulmate for Grant with his new love and passion with tech. So I'm a yes on continuing the due diligence process. What about you, Eric? You're a tougher yes sometimes.
Well, so I'm definitely a yes on this too, because I say to everybody, and I'm kind of the blockchain expert for the incubator, you know, blockchain is here to stay. It's not a fad. It's not something that you can ignore. It's like you have access to the internet. In the early days of the internet, take advantage while we still can. So Thomas, thank you so much for the ingenuity around this idea. I'm right there with you of we got to bring blockchain into more things. And I just want to continue the conversation because I have so many other questions around like ownership, and do they have voting, and how liquid can we actually make it? How much can we break it down? Thomas, I'd love to dig deeper with you.
Yeah, awesome. And for everybody that's watching, what are your thoughts? In the chat, let us know what you think about Thomas. We take all of your feedback into consideration when we're saying yes or no to move forward with these wonderful entrepreneurs. One of the things that we've been preaching since the early days of the incubator was everyone's meant to be a tech founder. Everyone. You don't need to be technical to be a tech founder. There's not an engineering bone in my body. I know how to write marketing copy, I know how to sell, but I figured it out because I saw an inefficiency that existed and I took personal responsibility to build a solution for that inefficiency. And we have a founder, her name is Peggy, out of Nebraska, and she's the founder of FieldPocket. She's also non-technical. She's a mom to 5 or 6 children, and she's what she calls a farmer's wife. She runs the business of the farm while her husband is doing the actual work on the farm, the physical work on the farm. And she came to us with this idea, this moonshot to just completely revolutionize the farming industry. And she worked closely with Eric to ensure that what we were gonna launch was gonna solve a piece of the problem so we can launch something quickly, and that's what FieldPocket is. Please watch this commercial. And if you're a farmer or you know a farmer, make sure they go to FieldPocket today and sign up for their account. This technology is changing the business of the farm forever. Take a look.
What if you could increase profit and transparency on your farm for generations to come? What if you were able to save dozens of hours each month? What if you were able to reduce the time and stress spent on bookkeeping during harvest season? What if we had an answer to your prayers? The solution is called FieldPocket. FieldPocket is a software application to keep track of farmers' harvest data. From grain contracts, to managing delivery tickets and settlement sheets, to linking all the documents in organized reports. The app automates previously manual tasks on the farm to create a more efficient and reliable tracking system for farmers, allowing them to ditch their paper and pen approach and automate data analysis related to grain tracking and payments. But enough of the tech talk. FieldPocket will give you time to spend with your children. FieldPocket will eliminate the stress of running the business of the farm. FieldPocket will reap you benefits that you never thought possible. Here at FieldPocket, we aim to increase your quality of life on the farm for generations to come. Simple as that. We invite you to join a FieldPocket family so that you have more time for your family.
and we're back. Everyone can do it, man. That's what I still love about what we're doing.
Exactly.
We are democratizing the technology industry. I mean, Silicon Valley, it's a tough place to break into, right? If you don't have the right resume and the right track record and the right college, like there might not be a place for you there. But with us at 10X Incubator, we are giving everyone a shot. If you're the right person with the right idea and the right market and the right business model, we want to say yes to you. We just need you to say yes to you first, which is why I'm so honored and excited when people show up to pitch in the tank. Because it's not easy to get on this live stage in front of thousands of people and to share their big ideas. So let's listen to another one. So we have Victor here. Victor, my man, thank you so much for being present. Where are you calling in from tonight?
I'm calling in from Chicago, Illinois.
Awesome. Welcome,
Great.
my friend. You got 5 minutes. Share your big idea. Go for it.
All right. I'd like to start out by mentioning that if you've ever worked in the theater industry, you'll understand that there are 6 components to this industry. There's the theater companies, there are the actors, there are the production team people who work behind the scenes. They are the venues where the shows are being held at, the people who write the shows, and the last person is called the theater goer. And currently, there is no product that basically allows data integration between each phase of a show. And one of the things that our product seeks to do is we are modernizing the management of theatrical shows. So our website and app utilizes one place for theater professionals to utilize, plus people it allows theater goers to find any play within 50 miles of their phone. Our revenue model is based on subscriptions for theater companies and advertising. And in addition to that, it basically takes the manual portion of doing theatrical shows out of the equation and automates a lot of the processes. For instance, if you look at our competitors, you will see that, or some people who are in the space, I should say. For instance, Buzz on Stage or Gold Star, they will only allow you to buy a ticket to see a show. And if you look at Backstage, they will allow you to advertise that you have an audition. But after the audition is over, there's no integration into the next phase of the show or of that process. Theater Forms allows you to find a play to produce, and that's it. And Wild Venue allows you to find a place to have your show at. And then Prepared allows you to manage the show. And after that, there's nothing. Whereas in our product, we are the first to market that will allow you to, as a theater company, find a venue to have your show at and find the production crew to manage it, find the actors to perform in it, and then find the audience to come view it. Our product is the first to handle the entire industry in this way. And there's data integration from each part. So once you cast once you hold your auditions, those that have been cast in your play are moved into the management of the show. So the director can now send notes to those people. The stage managers can create reports with a few clicks. And in addition to that, it allows the theater goer to have more information regarding the show. They can see a preview of the play. They can see who's in the show. They can also buy their ticket in one place and also look at a digital playbill.
Awesome. You got 60 seconds, Victor, unless you're done.
And that is it.
Awesome, Victor. Thank you, man. Good stuff. So where are you in the process? Does this platform, does this app currently exist? Are you building it, or is it more in the idea phase? Where are you at?
We are in the building phase, I should say rebuilding, because the last developer did not complete the task. So we are rebuilding it right now using microservices architecture.
Awesome. Good for you. Yeah. Are you a non-technical tech founder?
That is correct. I'm more of the, I'm a self-producing playwright has been doing this work since 2005, and I ran into a bunch of problems, and this was my solution for it.
Awesome. Yeah, I can empathize with you. The first tech product I built, we put 2 years and $2 million into it and had to completely scrap it and start over because it just missed the mark, couldn't scale. So it's not easy to bounce back, but obviously you care about having this solution. So I know you mentioned that seems to be a lot of fragmentation in the theater industry, all different types of tools, but none of them are bringing all the data together, right? So that's what you're doing. You're building like the one-stop shop for every character that exists within the space of theater, from the theater goer to the people that are performing to the director, et cetera. So that's fantastic. But what do you launch with? Are you launching with the whole package? Are you launching with a piece of it? Like what initial problem are you going to solve in your minimum viable product?
Minimal viable product will be a product that basically works, again, for all 6 participants. Once that minimal viable product is out, we will then expand it into other areas, such as professional organizations, allowing you to rent props or sell props, to invest and so forth. But for the initial out-of-the-box minimal viable product, it will allow a theater company to do all the things that I mentioned, from find a venue, the people who work in the production, the actors to perform it, play, produce, and the venue to have the show and an audience.
Okay. And you said it was a SaaS model, right? So who's paying for the platform? I know you said it's a SaaS. So the theater is paying for it. Is the person also paying for it? Like share how the business model works.
The subscription, it's based on subscriptions, and it would be only for theater companies that would pay to utilize the product. It'll be free to all the other members of that process, because we have to make sure that there are no barriers to entry.
For sure. And how much money does the theater company pay?
It's $199 for the year, or $299 for the year. So we're making it affordable, and then we'll sell ads in addition to that.
So if you got 100% of the market, how many theater companies are there?
Those theater companies that I could find, there's over 60,000 theater companies, but this does not include the pop-up shops or pop-up theater companies, or those that are are coming out of churches or coming out of community centers, because most of the time they're doing just like Tyler Perry started out. They can afford to do one show for one day once a year, and then there's no data on those places, whereas my product will start capturing that data.
Yeah. So will this also be a platform that, since all of the participants are in the platform, will they be able to promote their production on this platform as well and sell tickets?
Oh, but of course, that's the whole process of it. And then also it will keep a work history like IMDb. So if you are an actor, you no longer need to keep sending a resume. You can just go on to our product and you can see your entire work history, or an actor's entire work history.
Very interesting.
Phenomenal.
Very interesting.
And so then, is this would Broadway shows be using this? Or is that because when we look at there's different markets, right? Like small business, medium-sized businesses, and then enterprise-level businesses. And I'm thinking it might be the same, where you have those one-day shows, the theater companies, and then Broadway. Is this for all of them, or is there a target that you'd start off with?
This would work for all of them, but our target is primarily the education market, and also the non-professional theater, because Broadway has spent a lot of money on some of their existing tools, and eventually we know they will migrate over to ours. But until we reach complete product market fit, we know that would be something that they would be the laggards in our product lifecycle.
Got it. What is your most significant need now? I know that you have a new dev team. So what is it? Do you need more people to build faster? Are you looking for an investment? Are you looking for promotion? What is the need and why?
The need is, of course, development, because we're still developing. It's being developed overseas, so to get it completed quicker, because theater is starting to revive again. And the second thing is product awareness. And that's one of the reasons why I was reaching out to the organization, because Grant Cardone is part of it. And I think the world of the guy. I mean, I learned a lot from listening to him. He's amazing. And then the last thing that we're looking for would be assistance and capital. And the reason why is because the product is going to cost $25,000 to complete. And that includes the website and the app done in React Native.
Got it. Cool. So let's go through this. So we look for, there's 4 major criteria, right? Right person, right idea, right market, right business model. So it's clear that Victor's the right person. Like the passion is there. I could tell you've been in the industry for a long time.
Well, and I want to recognize him for something. Oftentimes people just come up with these solutions in search of problems, or these CISPs, because they just want to start a company and then make money off of it and everything. But it sounds like Victor is solving his own problem. He is in that industry. He sees the problems every day, and it makes him so much more relevant to the idea. And that's actually something I look for when people pitch us, is because if they are not a part of that industry, then how can I trust that the solution that they've come up with is 10x better than the status quo?
Yeah.
And so I love that Victor is in the industry and he sees the problems every single day.
Yeah.
So he's the right person.
Yeah. So let's talk about the idea now. So the idea to build the one-stop shop in the theater industry, right? Fully integrate, have all the data centralized. I mean, it's not a world that I know quite that much about, but what we do know is centralizing data matters. What are your thoughts on the idea itself?
So this is the part that I would want to go deeper on, because oftentimes I call this kind of an idea a Swiss Army knife idea, where what's happening is you're taking the best of everything and bringing it into one, where there's 100 functions of every other software, the 6 that he's talking about combining, but he really only needs 4. And so he's creating a Swiss Army knife down into one. And so I would just want to have a further discussion with Victor about what's going to be the friction for somebody to come off those platforms and bring it there. He was talking about the data integration. How easily can we be pulling data into things? I have a lot of tools that I use for data integration. Sometimes it gets a little sticky depending on where that data is coming from. So that would be the part, particularly in the data integration side, and the friction of people going from the one-off solution that they have going to his Swiss Army knife. I would just want to dive a little bit deeper on that.
Yeah, that's always a concern as well. Whenever we see one-stop shops, I love it. Like the concept is awesome. It's just like, what is that pain of transition? Like, are we going to be able to get a theater that's maybe been there for 90 years and they've been using the same platform for the past 20 years. And even though this is better, like the thought of them moving is just so arduous for them. So it's something that we want to dig into deeper. And for anyone that has an idea like this, these are the kind of things that you're going to want to uncover. Now, what about the market? What about the market of theaters? What are your thoughts on that?
So the market of theaters, I could go either way. Now, this is where Victor could easily prove us wrong, or I just don't have the data to support it. I think it's for millennials, for people of my age as well. I think it's becoming more and more in fashion for them to go to the theater and for them to, the access to theater is so much larger too, with especially on Spotify. You can listen to whole musicals straight through. So I think more and more people are interested in the theater today. I would just wonder how many people are theater goers and what's happening to that market size because of Netflix and things like that. Usually I can give a good analysis on the data of whether or not it's growing or it's shrinking, but this one, it might be totally in the air. I'd have to look it up and go deeper with Victor on that.
Yeah, and then finally the business model. So $199 a year, $299 a year. There's 60,000 potential users besides for the pop-up. Not a huge market, probably not that much upside potential from the financial perspective, but what are your thoughts on the actual financial
But Victor
model?
was talking about helping theater companies sell tickets on there. I think that's the biggest thing that theater companies need. I think right now, a lot of them, if I've seen it, they were using Eventbrite for those one-off pop-up shops. They're using Facebook events, which is like, crazy that that's the best thing that's available for them. So I know he was saying the $199, $299. I think that there's a lot more to be said about this becoming a ticketing platform for these theater companies, as well as them managing their entire productions. And that is the part that I think is the most interesting, is if you can manage your whole production and sell tickets to people. Now the only question is, how do we get the people who are buying tickets on Eventbrite or Facebook events or just your website, how do we push them into this ticketing platform and get them to make an account? Because sometimes as soon as they see, even if it's a free ticket, they see make an account, and they're like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
So maybe keeping it anonymous or things like that.
Really interesting.
But-
So Victor, these are things for you to think about. Listen, I'm a yes to continue the conversation
Absolutely.
around due diligence. You're obviously an expert in your industry, and we look to remove inefficiency across every industry. But for those of you that are watching, what are your thoughts? If you're a theater goer, would you see yourself using this platform? If you're someone that's performing in theaters, do you like yearn for something like this? If you own a theater company, are you like, where have you been for my entire life? Please share in the chat. You will influence our decision. But wonderful job, Victor. We appreciate you. So there you have it. That's our episode for tonight on the 10X Tech Tank. Listen, Eric, your hair is still tight. I'm proud of you, man. I know that sometimes the tank gets pretty intense here with all these wonderful entrepreneurs. But listen up. If you're just watching and you have an idea, shame on you. I mean it. Listen, this is a safe space. You see, we want to say yes. We want to give you feedback. We want to give you a platform. Even if we choose not to move forward with any of these entrepreneurs, they're still getting a platform in front of thousands and tens of thousands, soon hundreds of thousands and even millions of people that are tuning into these episodes. So if you have an idea, it's your moral responsibility to execute on it. Head over to 10xincubator.com. That's 10xincubator.com and fill out the free written application. There's a chance that you might be on the tank with us. And if you want to make sure that you never miss an episode, we're every night, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. We're here for an hour. 4 people every night will be pitching Big E and myself over here, and we want to say yes. So if you want to be notified in advance, head over to 10xtechtank.com, get on the list so we can send you daily notifications. You'll never miss an opportunity. We appreciate you. We thank you for your support. For all the entrepreneurs that shared with us this evening, kudos to you. You have the courage to step up, step in, be bold, be audacious, and take your idea and bring it to the place of an exit. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Which napkin will become the next exit? Which MVP will evolve into a unicorn? Which cash-flowing tech company will reach the next level? Our hope and desire is that it's yours. Your idea, your MVP, your cash-flowing tech company. Now is your time. Head over to 10xincubator.com and submit your idea so that you get on the tank and give us the chance to transform your napkin into an exit. That's 10xincubator.com. That's 10xincubator.com. Let's go.